Welcome back to the Whiskey Couch in Pretoria, South Africa, with me, GUSTAV MULLER, as your host. Today I'm getting to the second Irish whiskey that I'm doing in this mini-series on Irish whiskies. I've already reviewed and done food pairing on the West Cork 10-year-old single malt whiskey. And today I'm going to do a review and some food pairing on the Green Spot Single Pot Still. So quite a difference between the single malt and the single pot still. Single malt, of course, produced from a mash with malted barley. Single pot still produced from a mash with both malted barley as well as unmalted barley. But both distilled in traditional copper pot stills. So this Green Spot was originally produced in the early 1900s. It is produced at the Midleton distillery, and I've got a photograph here. That is the old Midleton distillery, and this here is the new Midleton distillery. But it is specifically produced for Mitchell and Sons, as you can see there. Mitchell's and Sons at the Midleton distillery. And this is the bottle right here. And it says here, from a tradition dating back to the 1805 comes the inspiration for Green Spot Single Pot Still Irish whiskey. Triple distilled and matured and bottled for Mitchell and Son. Bottled at 43% alcohol by volume. And there is, of course, also a yellow spot pot still, and the name comes from the tradition dating back to the 1800s, where they had the casks of whiskey maturing, and with a spot of paint, the spot of paint indicated how long the whiskey has been maturing. And from what I could read up on this, the Green Spot in those days were the most were the most, what is the word now? Most popular, that is the word. The Green Spot was the most popular when considering all of the different spotted barrels maturing, all of them at different time, different lengths of years. So a lot of information here. Single pot still Irish whiskey on the gift tube. Alright, I've already poured my dram a little bit before the video. Let's see, 43% alcohol by volume. I'm just wondering if the European and American version is also bottled at 40%, because that's usually the case. There you can see the beautiful deep golden color and the legs forming there. Green Spot Single Pot Still whiskey. I'm picking up some typical grain sweetness, barley sweetness, almost like a sweet barley on the nose. Some orchard fruits, stone fruits, but also tropical fruits. Toasted wood, cereal, vanilla, toffee notes, very nice nose. Honey and a little bit of grassy, as if there's a bit of greenness in this Green Spot. That's interesting, a bit of greenness in the Green Spot. Very sweet, wonderful, sweet and spicy. The balance is perfect. Sweet and spicy. I'm picking up a bit of sherry. This was, of course, matured in ex-Bourbon casks and also ex-sherry casks. And I can pick it up on the palate. There's a little bit of sherry on the palate, but also caramel. Caramel on the palate. It's complex. The finish after this first sip is lingering, sort of a medium long finish with the fruitiness, the creamy caramel, and then a slightly bitter note, spicy, peppery, bit of barley. This is very nice. Sweet fruit on the palate. Apples, pears, berries, even banana and mango. The tropical fruit and the stone fruits and orchid fruits that I got on the nose, beautifully transferring to the palate. Caramel again, bit of nuttiness. Toasted oak and mint. Very inviting flavors. You just want to, it's almost like a journey of discovery. You just want to take another sip as if there's something more to discover in this whiskey. But before we do that, let me add a few drops of water and just see what a few drops of water does. Maybe it'll open it up a bit more. Let's just make sure. A lot of oiliness being released as the water is poured in. Yes, dried fruit now. More green barley, more caramel. Creamy but smooth. More caramel and now chocolate as well. And some oak spices on the palate. Wow, what a wonderful whiskey. I was just as surprised by the West Cork single malt 10-year-old. That was as good. And this Green Spot, a beautiful whiskey. My summary would be creamy caramel, fruity chocolate and oak spices. That's what my summary will be for this one. The price here in South Africa around 600 Rand for a bottle. In the UK around £40 from what I could find out, and around $60 in the United States. If you want to pair this whiskey, single pot still whiskey produced from malted and unmalted barley with a food snack, then I would recommend that you try to connect with your food snack, connect with the chocolate, the fruitiness, the sweetness, the caramel elements in the flavor profile. So something like a dark chocolate. We get a cheese around here, I think it's called White Rock, with mango and ginger pieces in. And I think that cheese will work well. It's got the creaminess and it's got the fruitiness. A fruity dessert could work well. But I've chosen something very interesting for today. Chicken chipolatas. Chicken chipolatas is a chicken mini sausage. It is slightly, and I've got a fork here somewhere. What did I do with my fork? Let me just get it quickly. Here I have it. It is slightly herby, but it's quite smooth, and it is slightly spicy. And I'm going to try this with, will I get it back there? I'm going to try this with two different sauces because I want to experiment with the sauces. I have got a caramelized onion hummus sauce here. And I also have a very sweet and fruity sweet chili sauce. So I'm interested to see, will the caramel in this caramelized onion hummus, will that go well with this whiskey? So that's what I'm going to try first. Wow. The earthiness of the hummus and the slight caramel sauce of the caramelized onions is accentuating, pushing forward the fruitiness in the whiskey. Very interesting. So let's see what the sweet chili, the fruity sweet chili sauce will do. This is very interesting. So nothing from both the sauces are clashing with the whiskey. In the one case, you've got different elements than the other case that's connecting with the whiskey. The caramel hummus is accentuating the fruitiness, but the sweet chili sauce is almost as if it's accentuating the smoothness and the spiciness in the whiskey. So two different experiences, but man, I'll give both of them a 4 out of 5, even though completely different, connecting with different elements in this whiskey. That's what I like about whiskey and food pairing. It's a wonderful adventure. So thank you very much for watching and joining me. And I look forward to seeing you on the next video when I'll be doing the third in this mini series on Irish whiskies. Until then, sláinte.